The Last Jedi. What a mess.
The Last Jedi is a very big disappointment. I hope it's their last garbage that they come out with.
For me, the biggest problem with The Last Jedi was how Luke Skywalker's character was handled. I thought it was so sad because he was such a hopeful character, and I think that the people who worked on this movie wouldn't know what Star Wars was properly all about if it hit them in the face. Mark Hamill himself, who of course plays Luke Skywalker, actually said in an interview that, look, if you're going to go in to see this film, The Last Jedi, and think you're going to be able to recapture, you know, part of your childhood, then you're going to be setting yourself up for disappointment. For me, that was not what I can remember as my Luke Skywalker. Like, that's not how I remember him at all. And they completely just took his whole entire history of the character of Luke Skywalker, who is such an amazing character, such a strong, wonderful, you know, think of everything that Luke has actually went through. And he's definitely not a coward. And they just completely dismantled everything about the whole history of his character. It's okay to change. Obviously characters can change over the years and time with, you know, movies and things like that, but not to the point where you're completely taking away all the freaking elements of every single part that is what makes him Luke Skywalker. I mean, there was a CGI alien and they had Mark Hamill, you know, getting milk from this CGI alien, and then to my disbelief and to my dismay, he actually drank it. And I actually thought, in that moment, when I was in the cinema, I really just want to get up and walk out. And at that point, I was convinced that I was watching some sort of soap opera. I mean, you wouldn't see Frodo, you know, trying to get milk from an orc in The Lord of the Rings, because you just wouldn't. Exactly, it sounds absolutely ridiculous. Why on earth would Luke go and hide away? Since when was Luke a coward? Since when was Luke a pessimist? You know, they turned him into a pessimistic hermit. He actually said to Rian Johnson, the director of The Last Jedi, I fundamentally, not just I disagree, I fundamentally disagree with everything about my character.
What's up? I'm Snoke Spinal Tap. Thank you for having me on your channel today, Julie. Well, I'm going to be real quick with the first two. The first two is the Hux and Poe Dameron mama joke. It was pretty just very dumb. I think set it up to where Luke throwing his saber, which is number 2, throwing his saber behind himself, it kind of like set up that to even come at you to be even worse. Almost like, kind of like how like a troll will act.
Mark Hamill even said that he had to go to the gym and train for this movie, The Last Jedi. Why? Exactly. To just stand about the film and hide about like a coward, and I know what it was for. He had to train at the gym for hours on end so that he could get a lightsaber in his hand and chuck it over his shoulder, because you know what? That does take a lot of energy. So you know what, Rian Johnson? I get that part. I forgive you for that.
Like online, like I've seen stuff where like trolls will come on people's pages and like troll people. It was almost like someone was like trolling the fans, you know. And I've heard some other people agree with that, you know, like it was like someone trolling us. And it's like, who would actually be okay with that? Now, Mark Hamill is known for being kind of like a troll online sometimes. I wouldn't really think that he would want to do this to us, but you know, with like some things that he does online, he's kind of like the Joker sometimes, you know. There's like some dark things about Mark himself, or whatever, that he'll, you know, like some things he'll come out and say, whatever, and just kind of like a poking at the bear type of like stuff, you know, to get like a reaction, which is like another troll type of thing. Now, and then you also have Rian Johnson. Now, did Rian Johnson do this? I think it's more of like Rian Johnson was trying to probably maybe troll us with that, like with that scene setup, because it seemed like that the movie was going off fine. It started off where it was like the planet was being attacked, where they were just like taking off from, and I liked that. I think that was pretty cool. And then it just starts to just dramatically go downhill right whenever Hux and Poe start talking. And it kind of like gets you in like this like thing like, am I watching the right movie? And then progressively just gets worse with like the bombs falling in space. That didn't make too much sense because there's no gravity in space. But maybe, yeah. But that right there, whatever, it progressively just sets it up to just, the movie almost seems like it's geared to make people upset and start making people like get angry, because like the jokes are like stupid too. But Luke throwing the saber behind him, I thought I wasn't even watching the right movie. It was like, what movie is this? Like, this is like did some troll hack into it and freaking make him like throw it behind himself? Or it's like, what the heck's going on here?
Another reason why I hated the movie The Last Jedi was because of Finn and Poe's character. Finn and Poe's character was so dopey in this movie and so nonsensical. There was no growth in their storyline whatsoever, and The Last Jedi actually separated Finn's character, Poe's character, and Rey's character, and separated them into two plots. Why? The movie was all over the place, and this is what I mean. This is a good example with these characters. It wasn't necessary, and it kind of seemed to me as it was kind of like a diversion for the audience.
My other thing though is that the Canto Bite scene, the whole thing and what happens, and what could have happened, it just makes you upset also, because like there's like children there that Rose and Finn could have saved. You know, like they were being enslaved on the planet, but instead they had more feelings for these horse type of like animal things that were probably just going to get like gathered up, you know, after freeing them, because like they really couldn't do nothing with them, and all that they did with those horses was basically kind of like a terrorist act. They really didn't understand what was going on at the casino. Rose kind of like more or less kind of like talks Finn into being more darker and into kind of like attacking the people, whenever they could have actually, like they met those kids. She shows them this ring or whatever, a broom boy or whatever. She shows them this ring and shows them the symbol, and what they give them is like, they kind of teach them that it's okay to hurt people that you don't really understand, you know, whenever they could have actually just like took the kids and probably got away fine and left on their ship and just like took off, you know. Instead they show them releasing these horse type of creatures, and they go wild all through the city, hurting people, wrecking like everything that's going on there, and then they just go scurrying off into the woods or like this field and stuff, where they're probably gonna be trapped up again and then put right back into the races. And it's like, those kids, like they could have actually helped out those kids, and one of the kids was a Force user. Maybe all of them are, like that's, you know, but there was so much potential there too. Like they could have had like a Lando there, they could have met him there.
The third reason I didn't like The Last Jedi was I didn't like the character of Kylo Ren in this movie. Now, Whereas I actually did think he was cool in The Force Awakens. I actually have a 6-inch Black Series figurine of him with his feet in the snow and everything, and I did like him and he came across as a cool character. I liked him. But in The Last Jedi though, I thought that he appeared as like a wimp, like really more of a wimp than what he was in The Force Awakens, and he appeared just so much weaker, and I don't know why they would have thought that that would have been a good idea. Then they thought to, you know, like to add more, you know, stupidity to the fire, like instead of fuel to the fire or whatever, that there was this sort of like weird random romance for whatever reason toward the end of this movie between Rey and Kylo. I don't get that, you know, it seems really confusing to the audience. It was confusing to me anyways. Not unless, guys, you can educate me below. Am I missing something? Because I think I'm just missing the whole entire freaking movie, if you ask me anything.
Thank you for watching. I'm Snoke Spinal Tap, and I'm out.
This is just been some of our reasons why myself and Snoke Spinal Tap from YouTube, who is a massive Star Wars fan, by the way, he does so many theories on Star Wars. If you're interested in Star Wars theories, then you should definitely go and check out his channel. Now, whether you subscribe or not, if you even want to go over and have a look, leave him a comment if you like. We will both be so grateful if you could also comment on this video. I will leave Snoke Spinal Tap's channel, if I can speak, sorry, below in my video description for this video. If you would like to follow me on Twitter, because so many people have been asking me about that, I do have a Twitter account. My Twitter is wishuponaflog87, so slightly different than my channel. There's no ED, it's just wish instead of wished, so wishuponaflog87. If you would like to see more Star Wars videos from myself and Snoke Spinal Tap, please let us know in the comments below, or if you would like to see like another sort of like video like this, another episode of why we don't like The Last Jedi, we could certainly do that, or we have lots of other ideas as well that we've been discussing. If you want to see more videos from us, then please let us know in the comments. Please subscribe if you're new, if you're interested in these sort of videos, so that you can be notified every time I post up a new video, maybe like this one. So thanks very much for watching, and until my next video, may the Force be with you. Bye guys!